I know that it was Merv Neal. It was El Supremo at Laughter Yoga Australia. Every time I talk to him, I get tongue-tied and sort of tears come out of my eyes for all the right reasons. Merv, welcome back to 6PR. Good to have you with us.
Todd, thanks so much for the opportunity, and always good to talk to a positive, happy person like yourself.
Well, I think it's appropriate too. We tend to sort of fuel one another, if you know what I mean. But I did see, look, World Laughter Day is coming up. I think it's this weekend, isn't it?
This Sunday, it is. It's the first Sunday in every month, and it was created by the doctor in India, the medical doctor in India, who created laughter yoga and laughter clubs internationally. So Laugh WA, they're an organisation over there that works on behalf of Laughter Yoga Australia, which is the organisation that I head up, is having a World Laughter Day event. It is free of charge, so I'm allowed to plug it. There's no money involved.
Good.
12 o'clock to 2 o'clock on the She Oak lawn below the Zamia Cafe on May Avenue, Kings Park. So I'm sure the locals there, I'm from Melbourne, so I'm sure the locals know exactly where that is. So
Yeah.
Go along there, you'll be able to find the people and hear them laughing this Sunday, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
Mate, I've got a laugh on my face already because I love it when people from the East Coast try to say Zamia. And they come out, yeah, it's like, have you heard people sort of say, you know, Mandurah is a great suburb just to the south of Perth. And sometimes when, you know, celebrities come in from the other side of Australia for telethons or appealathons or whatever it is, fundraising activities, and they say $20 from Mandurah. Now that makes, yeah, see what I mean? That makes me laugh. So automatically you've got people on board. The other thing too is that while there's a big event coming up in Kings Park, and we'll re-underline that, don't you worry about that, I've also got a piece of paper in front of me that says, come and celebrate World Laughter Day at the Caulfield campus of Monash University. Now, that's obviously in Victoria, and it's going to be hard to get people from Perth. You know that, don't you?
Absolutely, but the good thing is this event, which is ours, so in each state of Australia, Todd, we have a free event that people can attend. Now, the one at Monash University, which coincides with the launch of a book called The Laughter Effect, written by an adjunct lecturer from La Trobe University, is being live streamed as well. So if anybody would like to, if they can't get down to that cafe, I'm not even going to try and name it again. If they can't get down to, Park, they can log on to the Monash University one. Just drop us a line through laughteryogaaustralia.org or merv@mervneal.com, and we'll send them the link to the live stream so they can be a part of World Laughter Day coming from Victoria.
So is that, sorry, let me interrupt again. It's Zamia. I'm just letting you know, Zamia. So
yes,
thank you. Happy to help. Laughteryogaaustralia.org. Is that one place where we can get some information if needs be?
Yep, that's our website. So just go there and have a look there, or fill in the contact form. The emails come through to me, or drop me an email directly, merv@mervneal.com, and I'll send them the details.
Okay. How's it all going? Because, look, realistically, I see some of the number crunching through the news and people doing it tough, and you hear of people taking their own lives, which we've had a few moments on nighttime radio just recently where we've put up the red flag and say, hey, someone needs our help. Lifeline WA kicks in. All of a sudden, we start to get a bit of satisfaction and people are still with us, which is a blessing in itself. But boy, oh boy, Merv, I mean, seriously, sometimes it's good just to turn off, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it is. And I've had several events just recently, Todd, where I'm going, wow, this whole thing is not over. You know, there's some people really hurting out there. And what we hear on the media, you know, the interest rate just went up again, another 0.25% or something. And with the budget coming up, everyone's saying everyone's hurting. Well, yeah, we are hurting financially, but gee, there's some people really doing it tough. And if I may, I'm doing a session tomorrow for a primary school for the teachers. Now, I'm not going to tell you which one it is. That's highly confidential.
No, but that's such a good idea, Merv, because the teachers are at the coalface.
Well, I just said to the person, I went through my normal questioning process, and then my last question is, anything else I should know? And they said, yes, we have 7 new graduates who have just started this year, and they've just restarted term 2, and we find them at the end of the day at the back of the classroom crying.
Wow.
I'm going, this is not right. This is the young, beautiful people entering into a career of educating the next generation at the earliest stages of their teaching career at the back of the classroom crying. That's what I used to do 20 years into business, not straight away.
All right.
So I'm going out there with a totally different mindset of empathy and compassion for these young people, doing it tough in what used to be. I hope I'm not going to offend too many people here because I have kids who are school teachers and that, but used to be quite a cushy, quite a nice profession, 9 till 3 and,
Sure.
and lots of holidays and that. And all of a sudden it is impacting on them like this. So it just really, to me, highlights that there's a lot of pain out there that we need to be aware of and then do something about it. So World Laughter Day, as an example, is a reminder to, just go and hang out with some people who are laughing as if life is really, really good, even if it's just...
Hi, I'm Eddie Maguire. This is Brownlow medalist, Premiership superstar Jimmy Bartell, also a board member of GWS. Is there a conflict of interest?
Conflicts of everywhere, and I think you and I might have a few conflicts if you keep going that way. Make sure you join us every Monday because we will talk about all the big issues that you want to hear about the fans.
And we want you to get involved as well. It's Eddie and Jimmy on the podcast. Richard is our producer. Richard, how do you find us, mate?
Subscribe to Eddie and Jimmy wherever you get your podcasts.
The podcast is sponsored by Ladbrokes. You win some, you'll lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
For a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It may help to shift the mindset from a negative to a positive, but just remind us the importance of laughing and having some joy in our life.
Mate, I have you on the show regularly because the basics of just having a good laugh. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to watch, and you can't watch these TV shows now, I mean, Gilligan's Island made me laugh. Benny Hill, gee whiz, you can't even say Benny Hill on radio. I think it's politically incorrect. But there were certain shows that we used to watch. Paul Hogan made me laugh. There were TV shows that we can't do now because of political correctness. But I often wonder, the sense of humour, are some people losing that ability to laugh not at other people, but themselves? Because I think that's an integral part of actually overcoming the phobias within.
I just had a flashback to Sunday afternoon when I was at the...
There are times when you can't watch Footy Classified on TV or you want to hear something again. Well, Footy Classified is available as a podcast right after the show airs on 9. Search for Footy Classified wherever you get your podcast. And so you don't miss an episode, make sure you subscribe. The Footy Classified podcast proudly brought to you by Tad.
Good old barbecue. And someone asked me that question word for word. Have we lost our sense of humour? What the heck's going on?
Yeah.
And political correctness and all that sort of stuff, goodness, we could talk for hours about this. But one person springs to mind, and that is, bless his soul, Sir Barry Humphries. Now,
Yes.
he was a guy
Yes.
who absolutely pushed the limits, but we just loved him for everything that he was because he was such an Australian icon and had such an iconic sense of humour. Now, I hope this word's allowed, but the ability to take the piss out of ourselves as Australians, he just did it beautifully with all of his characters. And I think we need to have a little bit of Sir Barry in our lives and just have a bit of fun and let go and rejoice, there's that word again, joy, in being Australians and get back to that good old Aussie larrikin humour that Paul Hogan and the likes had. I think that's where we've got to get back to, Todd.
So I think there's a balance in there somewhere, and this is a great chinwag move because yes, we need to celebrate World Laughter Day. It's on this Sunday, folks. We'll give you the details, or Merv will, and when Merv does, listen closely for the way that he says Zamia. The Zamia Cafe. He might get it right, but anyway, it's interesting to note because I think from a demographics point of view, we're a bit older. We have a slightly different sense of humour. We've been, we've learned certain things in our lives and we can equate things. And we know about Barry Humphries. With great respect, a lot of younger people do not know of Barry Humphries. They see a man dressing up and they think perhaps this is incorrect in the world that we're living in these days. But you've got to account for history as well, don't you?
Oh, absolutely, and take that into account, and things change over time. But what Barry did was he changed his humour over the time, but never lost the larrikin of Dame Edna Everage and Sir Les Patterson, that sort of thing. So he was still appropriate and politically correct because he changed and adapted his humour, but never lost that larrikin within him. And you mentioned Paul Hogan and Benny Hill. That just goes to show how old you might
Thank
be.
you. Thank you.
Now, some of that stuff, my Lord, if you look back at that
Oh.
was just wrong on all counts.
Yeah.
but we laughed at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the message today is find out what is appropriate now. There is still appropriate humour out there, and when you have the opportunity, for goodness sake, laugh out loud. So in Melbourne here, we just had the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. 600 comedy shows per night. The
Brilliant.
place was just buzzing, absolutely buzzing. And I went along to one, you may enjoy this, Todd. It was called a silent comedy show. Now, what they did was they put headphones on it. So the comedian was talking into the microphone and we could hear him crystal clear. But guess what? I couldn't hear the other people laughing. And it was doing my head in. I heard the jokes and I was laughing, but I couldn't hear other people laughing, which just goes to show how social laughter is and how we need to connect with other people's laughter. So I took off my headphones and I could hear everyone laughing, but I couldn't hear what they were laughing at because and it was just so funny because of the whole concept. We all had a great time because the International Comedy Festival says, by the way, would you like to come along and have a really good laugh with some happy, positive people? And, you know, it's going to cost you $20 or something like that. So it was a great opportunity.
And I think this is what it's all about. The basics of our sense of humour is changing and evolving. I totally understand that. But I do believe that we do need that ability, and we've always had it as Australians, to be able to laugh at your mates, but also laugh at yourself. I think that's really important. And I think that on World Laughter Day, which is coming up on Sunday, for those of us, I have domestic duties to do. I'm painting a window at the moment anyway, and that's another story. But if you want to go on Sunday, I'm going to get Merv to give you the address. Again, folks, listen to the word Zamia. Get ready for it. And if you want to be a part of it, it's at Kings Park. It's this Sunday coming up for World Laughter Day. We do need to laugh more. And I think that's one of the reasons why the night shift has a good listening audience and we have regulars, because people do need a bit of a chuckle and a belly laugh. So, Merv, come on, mate. If you want to go live streaming, folks, don't forget laughteryogaaustralia.org, or you can, Merv will give his email address again and chase that one up. But, Merv, where are we going in Kings Park again? Here we go, folks. Get ready.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Take the piss out of the Melbourne guy.
Come on.
It's the She Oak lawn below the Zamia Cafe, May Avenue, Kings Park. Here we go.
That was beautiful. You got Zamia like you're a West Australian all of a sudden. Mate, stay well. God bless you. Thank you for your time once again, and celebrate World Laughter Day with a good belly laugh, yeah?
Thanks, brother. Take care.
Good on you, mate. Merv Neal is seriously one of the best guys to have on the show because I can feel the endorphins flowing through my body. We've had a couple of good chuckles. It is so healthy for you to look at the real world and have a smile at it sometimes. But if you can turn that smile into a good belly laugh, do it. And if you want to have a crack, Kings Park this Sunday, keep a lookout for the Zamia Cafe, and you'll hear people laughing. It is a sound of joy, and in the world that we live in, more than ever, I think we need it. Great to have Merv on the show, and great to have you listening. We'll be back straight after this on 6PR.